and welcome to Valuechain News. I am Naomi Oleribe. First, the headlines. Adebanjo to Obasanjo, oil actually belongs to Niger Delta. Protesting Bayelsa community disrupts oil exploration. Weak gasoline demand pushes down global oil prices. Now the news in details. The leader of the Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization, Afenifere, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, has joined issues with former President Olusegun Obasanjo over the debate on resource control. Recall that Obasanjo has said that crude oil found in the South-South region and other mineral resources found in other parts of the country belongs to the federal government. Reacting to Obasanjo's comments, leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Edwin Clark, had disagreed with the former president, saying that the crude oil in the Niger Delta belongs to the region. The PANDEF leader had accused Obasanjo of showing hatred for the people of the Niger Delta for making such a statement. But in a letter to the elder statesman, the former president said that he does not hate Niger Delta, insisting that the crude oil or any mineral resources found in the area belongs to the government. Speaking on the matter during a press conference on Wednesday in Lagos, Adebanjo countered Obasanjo's claim, saying the Niger Delta owns the oil in the region. The Afenifere leader described Obasanjo's comments as provocative and mischievous, asking the former president to support the call for restructuring. Adebanjo said Nigeria does not own Niger Delta resources and the nation can only thrive if a change is made to the 1999 constitution. Aggrieved people of Opukisi in the Ekeremo local government area of Bayelsa State have disrupted oil exploration activities at an oil field operated by the Shell Development Company of Nigeria Limited (SPDC) in the area. Valuechain gathered that the people are protesting against alleged exclusion from contracts in the ongoing drilling for oil activities around the host community's environment. Chairman of Opukisi Community Development Committee, Simon Preye, revealed that the host communities staged demonstration to register their grievances against the SPDC. He vowed that they will continue with the process until their plight was addressed. Preye claimed that rather than engage the people in the ongoing activities at the field in compliance with the community content guidelines, the oil company and its contractors neglected their social obligations to the communities. Shell's media relations manager, Bamidele Odugbeshon, confirmed the halting of oil exploration activities in the area, pointing out that personnel of its contractors were safe and unharmed in the incident. He said work in the oil rig at the oil field had been shut down and the incident was reported to the appropriate government agencies. As Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) prepares to ground the country between 27 January 2022 to 1 February 2022 over alleged plan to remove oil subsidy by the federal government, major transporters in the country, especially from Southeast Zone, have blamed the problem on the exorbitant hike in transport fare and pledged that there will not be hike in transport fares if 10 to 15% of oil subsidy was set aside for them. Chief Godwin Obaka Okeke, a transport magnate, dropped the hint while celebrating the new year with the less privileged at his Adaziani country home in Anambra State. The federal government should call major transporters for a meeting, especially those from the Southeast Zone, and will sign an agreement that the fare will not be increased if we are giving 10 to 15% of the subsidy, Obaka told the newsmen during the New Year engagement. Oil workers in Gabon have started an indefinite strike action today in protest against COVID-19 measures and the cost of PCR tests, according to Gabon's trade union, ONEP. ONEP urged oil workers across the country to down tools in protest against COVID measures proposed by the government. The measures proposed by the government include vaccine passes and tests to access work and public sites. It is unclear which oil fields might be affected by the strike and to what extent the country's crude production will be impacted. Gabon, an OPEC member, produced around 170,000 barrels per day of crude in November, according to Argos estimates. Under the OPEC agreement, the country has a 172,000 barrels per day output quota for January and 173,000 barrels per day for February. Oil prices dipped on Thursday due to the substantial rise in U.S. gasoline inventories that signaled low demand amid sustained uncertainty over the impact of the Omicron coronavirus variant on oil markets. International benchmark Brent crude was trading at $84.42 per barrel with a 0.3% loss after the closing of previous sessions at $84.67 a barrel. American benchmark West Texas Intermediate WTI traded at $82.41 per barrel at the same time for a 0.3% fall after it ended the previous session at $82.64 a barrel. The more than expected decrease in U.S. crude oil inventories was overshadowed by the large accrual in gasoline inventories, putting downward pressure on prices. U.S. commercial crude oil inventories decreased by 1.1% during the week ending January 7th, according to the latest data released by the Energy Information Administration. Inventories fell by 4.6 million barrels to 413.3 million barrels, exceeding the market expectation of a 1.95 million barrel drop. However, gasoline inventories increased by 8 million barrels to 240.7 million barrels over the period, indicating a weak demand. Still below pre-pandemic levels, the rise in gasoline inventories resulted in market jitters that this may become the start of a new trend, citing lower crude prices in the coming months due to the spread of Omicron variants. And now, let's have a look at the oil prices in the global markets. Nigerians can now access their Twitter accounts without using virtual private network (VPN) 222 days after the federal government suspended the operations of the social media giants. However, Twitter remained inaccessible in some parts of the country as at press time. Before we end the news, here is a recap of our headlines. Adebanjo to Obasanjo, oil actually belongs to Niger Delta. Protesting Bayelsa community disrupts oil exploration. Weak gasoline demand pushes down global oil prices. And that's the news. I am Naomi Oleribe. Good evening.